Hello, my friends. I hope you're all fine. Welcome back with me, Teacher Jalil Abdessalam. Today, we are to talk about a new English item, new grammar item. This is my channel, English Comfort Zone, and with me, English Comfort Zone, with me, Teacher Jalil Abdessalam. Today, we are to talk about new grammar item. This is the table of contents. As you can see, we have many parts, we have many items to talk about. So I will divide the lesson into parts, not one. So we'll take some parts, some items today, and next time I will give the whole idea. Today we are to talk about the present continuous tense or present progressive tense. This is an intensive, simple approach from intermediate level to university 1. So let's start our lesson today. What about the present continuous meaning? What do we mean by the present continuous? This is very important to know in order to understand what do we mean by the tense. I will say the present continuous generally as general idea indicates an action, and we mean by the action a verb like talk, like play, like study. This is a dynamic verb, an action verb, a verb that has a movement that's going on while talking or while speaking. Present continuous tense indicates an action or a verb, dynamic verb, an action verb that is going on while talking. It is also called the present progressive. And what do we mean by progressive? It's not a specific characteristic to the present continuous. All continuous tenses in English, we can call them progressive tenses because they show the progress of an action in a given time. They show the progress, how long the action takes of an action in a given time. Look, for example, this is the timeline of the present continuous. When I see the moment I'm talking is now, before we have the past and after we have the future. If I say I'm reading a book, this means I started reading a short time before. I'm reading now, I'm talking to you, and I will read for a short time in the near future. So this is the meaning of the present continuous. The verb started a short time before now. It is going on now while I'm talking, and it will go for a short time, or a very short time in the nearest future afterwards. This what do we mean by the present continuous or present progressive meaning and the time line. Now we come to a very important idea about the present continuous. How do we form the present continuous? So what is the structure of the verb in the present continuous? The form here, when we talk about the form of a verb in it, of a tense, we mean the form of the verb, the structure of the verb in this tense. So we can say here we use verb to be in a present simple case, am or is or are, am or is or are, plus the main verb as base form, infinitive without to, plus ing. So we can say it is am or is or are. It is am or is or are, plus the present participle, plus the present participle of a verb, or plus base form of a verb plus ing. Like, for example, I'm reading, are playing, is running, whatever. So we can say if we come to am, and this is very simple to say, am goes with I say I am. Is goes with he, she, and it. So we can say he is, she is, it is. And are goes with they, we, you. So we can say they go, they are, we are, you are. If we are to take some examples with different parts, with different am or is or are, so we can say I am reading a book now. They are playing football means now. The cat is running after the little dog. Look at reading. Plus read plus ing final. Are playing. Are plus play plus ing final. And is running is plus run double n, because the final is preceded by a vowel, so double n ing, and so on. I'm reading, are playing, is running, am razor are plus a base form of a dynamic verb plus ing, or am razor are plus the present participle of a dynamic or an action verb. This is the main form of the present continuous or present progressive. I hope you understand my idea up to now. So if we wanted to form the negative forms in the questions, any verb that has a helping, we can see am, is, or are here are helping verbs. Am, is, are helping here. So whenever we have a helping verb and we wanted to form a negative form, we just add not after the helping. So am goes to am not, is goes to is not, are goes to are not. But remember, here is a very important idea to be said. And as for the word not can be abbreviated. What I mean by abbreviated, it can be shortened. It can have a short form. We can omit the O to be N apostrophe T only with are and is, but with am, no. Not must be in complete form. With am, not must be in complete form. So I can say, I am eating. This is affirmative, positive. So I am not eating. This is a negative. If we wanted to contract, if we wanted to abbreviate the sentence here, I can say, I am not. So I will abbreviate am, not not. Not must be in complete form here. And for the question, we simply exchange, make an exchange, or we substitute the verb, the helping verb with the subject. So I'm not eating, or I'm eating, am I eating, am I am, it goes to am I. Simply we replace the helping verb before the subject to form a question. So if we wanted to have an answer, we'll say yes, I am, or no, I am not, or I am not. If I take another example, and I will not go far in this idea because it's very easy. Look at you are eating, for example. If we wanted to make a negative form, just add not after are. So you are not eating. If we wanted to make a short form, we can make the short form in two ways. What are they? Either we will abbreviate are or not. So we can say you're not. You're not. So we abbreviate are. We omit the A and add apostrophe. Or a second form, we abbreviate not or take not as the short form. So we can say you aren't eating. For example, now you're eating. Are you eating? Just take out at the very beginning. Are you eating? Yes, I am. No, I am not. Or yes, you are. No, you are not. And so on. He is eating. He is not eating. He's not, or he isn't. He's not, or he isn't. Is he eating? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. The others go in the same way, and let's save our time for another idea. I hope this is clear up to now. If you wanted to come to a very important idea to know, to get the whole meaning of the verb in the present continuous and what is indicated or what is meant by the whole sentence in the present continuous, you have to know the time adverbs and the expressions or time expressions used in the continuous, in the present continuous. We have three types. of time expressions according to the time indicated in the sentence. What I want to say. If I wanted to express the idea that the action is going now, while I'm talking, I will use some words like look and followed by an exclamation, listen, now, at the moment, this, still, at present, these all to express the time now. So we can say, like, for example, I'm eating a sandwich. So I'm eating while talking to you. Look, a bird is singing on the tree. So looking from the window, I can see the bird singing while I'm watching. Watch out, a car is coming. So we are going by a car, and another one is coming while we are going at the same time. So if you want to indicate the idea that the action is happening now, get some words like look, listen, now, at the moment, at present, and others. But if we want, this is the second type, if we want to express in near future, exact future, planned future, so we are to use some words like after, adverbs of future time, like after, like next, like in the future, like tomorrow, like this evening or this afternoon, this um, plus a time word. Like, for example, I'm playing tennis this afternoon. I'm playing tennis this afternoon. This means I'm playing now. No, this afternoon. This means the verb does not start yet. It will start after some time, but because it is planned, because it is near, because it is exact, because I'm sure about it, so we use the present continuous to form or to show the verb in a future, in the future. This is the second type to indicate a future time but planned future. Then we come to the third part and the last part of them. We have sometimes we use adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency, like for example, like frequently, like always, often, or often, generally, forever, frequently, never, rarely. These adverbs, in order to we use them in the present continuous in order to show annoyance, inconvenience, a negative feeling, or anger about the meaning indicated by the verb or the repetition of the verb in the sentence, like indicated by the verb, the meaning intended by the verb in a sentence. Like, for example, when I say, you are always going to work late. Not this is are going. So this is present progressive, and we use always here. When always is one of the time adverbs for the present simple to show the habits or permanent habits in the present, but it is used here in the present continuous not to give a habit at all, but to give a dissatisfaction. I'm not satisfied with you. I'm angry with you. I'm sad with you. I'm upset with you because you are always going to work late. We use always here to give this to indicate or to show or to convey such meaning, the meaning of dissatisfaction, of inconvenience or negative feeling about the repetition of the verb indicated or shown in the sentence. And here I can give you another idea. When we use the adverbs of frequency in any progressive tenses, not only in the present continuous, for two purposes, my dear. The first one, to show temporary habits, whether in the present continuous, or in the past for the past continuous. This is one part. And second part, in order to give to show annoyance or inconvenience or negative feeling because of the repetition of the same verb or the meaning intended by the verb in the sentence. So we have three types of adverbs to express the present continuous. If we wanted to show that the verb is going on now while talking, we say look, listen, now, and the others. And if we wanted to show a future, exact future verb or planned future or near future, we use adverbs of the future, like after, next, and tomorrow. And if we wanted to show dissatisfaction or upset or annoyance or anger of the action itself, we use adverbs of frequencies, like frequently, like always, forever, and others. These are the three types. Now we finished them. And we come to a very important idea, and I can tell you, present continuous tense is one of the tenses in English that has a lot and a lot of uses. It is really a lively tense in English. So we can use it a lot and a lot in our daily life, because it has a lot and a lot of uses, and I will give you these uses in details. For example, the first one I just have said about it. We use the present continuous to show activities that is going on the same moment, in the same time of talking. So I'm drinking some coffee, so I'm drinking now while talking to you. I'm eating a sandwich, I'm eating now while talking to you. They are watching a film, I can see them watching a film while I'm talking to you, like that. So the action is going on now while talking. This is simply and easily. And the second use, present continuous, is used to indicate the future. And I have said this before also. To indicate the future, but under one condition, we can say this future is planned, is near, is exact, and I'm sure about this future action, I mean. And like, for example, when I say, my friend is traveling to London tomorrow. So here we have to mention a very important idea I said before, and I assure now, when talking about the future, using the present continuous, we have to use a future signal, future adverb, or future, we can say phrase, like tomorrow, next, in the future, because if we leave the sentence without a future adverb, it will be present continuous. The present continuous verb is going on now, but the verb does not still up to now. So we have to say, my friend is traveling to London tomorrow. Without tomorrow, he's traveling to London now. He is on board, and the plane is going to London. But if I say tomorrow, the action doesn't start yet, and it will start tomorrow, but because it is planned, it is near, it is exact. He has a ticket and he has an exact time to go. So we use the present continuous to express the future if it is planned and I'm sure about it. The third use, and this is very nice from my point of view, we can use the present continuous to express a present image or picture or some events which are going also now. Like I say, for example, this image I chose for you. See, these are some children. The children are playing. So what are they doing? What are these children doing? They are playing football. They are running. They are racing to kick the ball, and they are running happily. Look at, are playing, are racing, are running. So I can see the image and I try to describe the image clearly using the present continuous or the present progressive. Use the present continuous to express something that's happening before and after a specific time. Before and after a specific time. To somewhat, it has stability to somewhat. Yes, like when I say, when I return home, every day when I return home, what happens? I say, my mom is cooking lunch. Every day when I come from work, when I come from school, when I come from outside, my mom is cooking lunch. My brothers are playing computer games. For example, I can complete, my sister is watching a film, like that. So every day when I come home, I find my people or those people doing these things. So she's cooking all the time. When I come, she is cooking, mom is cooking. They are playing all the time. When I come, they are playing computer games and so on. So we use the present continuous to express actions or an action that is going before and after a specific time. Before and after a specific time. We still do not finish the uses of the present continuous. We can use the present continuous to show something that is new. And I can say it is a temporary, that is new, but it contradicts with a previous state. And I mean by contradicts, it is opposite. One state opposite to one before, one action different from one before, one that contrasts another one. Like, for example, these days we are taking our classes online, while before we took them at school, for example, or we are taking our classes online instead of going to schools and universities. So we take or we are taking our classes these days online. This state contradicts or is different from or contrasts our state before that we took them in classes, in real classes, or instead of going to schools and universities. So when we talk about a new state, a new action, a new verb, a new condition that is different from one before, that contradicts to one before, we can use the present continuous to express or to show. The sixth, number six. We can use the present continuous to show something that happens again and again. It is not related with a specific time. It happens all the time. Before now, now, after now, it goes on all the time. Like when we say, for example, it is always raining in the tropical forests. It is always raining. I don't mean by these words, by is raining here, that is raining now. No, it was raining before, it is raining now, and it will be raining after that. So we can say the verb is going on and on all the time. It is happening all the time. It is repeated all the time. So we can use the present continuous to show. And here we can use also the adverbs of frequency, because they show the frequency of the verb, how many times the verb is repeated, and the verb is repeated always here, again and again. So we use the present continuous to show an action that is going again and again. Let me remind you, because we have a lot of uses of the present continuous. So we can use the present continuous to show an action that's going on now while talking. We can say use the present continuous to express a near exact future, planned future. We can use the present continuous to describe an image. We can use the present continuous to show temporary actions or action that is going before and after another action. We can use the present continuous to show an action that contradicts or differs with another one before it. And we can use present continuous to show something that is going on again and again, or that happens again and again. When we use, and remember, when we use the present continuous to show the future, use a signal or adverb for the future time. When talking about, when we express the idea of an action happening or repeating always, use adverbs of frequency all the time. Let's complete, and we still have some uses of the present continuous. And this one you will be surprised about. Yes, I said before, we can use the present continuous to describe an image, a present image, or present situation, or a present case. But at the same time, for your surprise, we can use the present continuous to talk about the past. How? If this is the past, how can we use the present continuous in two cases? Number one, if I tell a story or experience for me or for others, okay, a situation, a case, okay, I can talk about. Like, let me give you the example, and I will tell you why. Why do we use the present continuous here? We can say, for example, I can give you an example. Say, at that time, my brother is standing. beside the dining table. I am sitting in a chair reading a book for Wilson Harris. Then he is asking me to give him some information about the book I'm reading. Look, is it standing? I'm sitting. Is asking? I'm reading. These are all present continuous verbs, and the action, we can say the story as a whole happened before, but we use present continuous. Why? This is a special case. That's to say, normally, and generally, and for exact use, we use the past simple and the past continuous to give an idea, or to explain, or to describe past events, whether in a story, whether an experience for me or for others, situations in the past as a whole, in the past simple and past continuous. But we can use the present simple, and this is the standard also, present continuous, and this is the standard also to explain or to describe the past situations or past stories. Why? This is the special use to give momentum to the events described, to give a specific effect of the story or of the experience or of the events as a whole, to make them lively, to make them interesting, to make them beneficial, to make them more and more near to the reader or to the listener if I'm talking. So this is a special use to make the whole idea attractive. It is standard, yes, it is correct, 100% correct, and more attractive than using the past simple and the past continuous to describe past events. So this is a special use of the present continuous to express or to describe past events or experience, or we can see situations or stories like that for me or for others. Not like that also, but we can use the present continuous to summarize books, stories, films, plays. Wow, these books, stories, films, and plays were written in the past, and the actions, the events, all are in the past. But as I have said before, I give some suspense, I give some specific effects, I give some interest to the reader, I give some of the attraction to the reader using the lively tense of the present continuous. For an example here, I can give you one of mine. For example, I have read and taught Macbeth many times before, and I will give you one example from it. Like, for example, Macbeth is a play written by William Shakespeare. In one act, the audience see Lady Macbeth standing by her bed. She's talking toughly to her husband as she is urging him to kill King Duncan. So she's giving her husband the dagger to kill the king on sleeping, and so on. We can complete, but this is to give two or three verbs in order to show you the idea. Look at it, is talking, is giving, is giving, is urging. The whole, all the events are in the past, but we use the present continuous to make them more lively, suspensing, effective, attractive, to give momentum, to be near and near to the reader or to the listener. Okay, so we use the present continuous in many uses, and I can say that it is lively, as I have said before, a lively tense. As a general idea, we express present habits using present permanent habits. We use the present simple, but present temporary habits, we use the present continuous. I say, for example, he plays football. This means he usually plays football. It is his habit to play football. He is accustomed to play football. This is his habit. But today, or these days, we can say he's playing tennis. Playing tennis is temporary. It is new for him. It's not stable. But his habit is to play football. He changes, but for a short time. Okay, playing tennis here is not stable, is not permanent. It is temporary for a short time. So we use, and I can give you here another idea. This is a general idea. We use the simple tenses in order to give an idea about stable or permanent actions. But temporary actions, unstable actions, we use the continuous tenses, whether present or past, because the simple tenses uh, concentrate mainly on the action itself. So we describe permanent action using them. But for the continuous tenses, they assure the duration of the verb in a given time. So we use the progressive cases or continuous cases to show the unpermanent or temporary actions, or short-term ones. And I mean by short-term in time, okay, but in a given time. How long does the verb take? This is continuous, but what is the verb itself? This is simple case. So these are the different uses of the present continuous, and as you can see, there are many and they are interesting at the same time. Another idea to be added here, this is a sub idea, little idea. Present continuous shows that an action is unfinished or complete. Yes, and this is another general idea about continuous tenses. Continuous tenses, including the present continuous, show that the action is not complete. The actions are not complete here. They are unfinished because I can say, for example, the baby is sleeping. Be careful. The baby is sleeping. The baby is sleeping now while I'm talking. He slept a short time before and he is sleeping now and he will sleep for some time. But I don't know up to now when will he wake up. Okay. So the verb here is not complete. It will go for some time still in the future. So it is not complete, it's incomplete, it is unfinished. This is a general idea about continuous tenses. Continuous tenses do not give an idea about complete actions. Again and again, I will say simple tenses in English give idea about complete actions, finished actions. But continuous, no. With continuous tenses, in general, including the present continuous, the verbs are not complete. They are unfinished. So another idea to be added here, and this is maybe new for a lot of you, the word now does not mean exactly now in the moment I'm talking. No, it may mean this hour, this month, this week, this year, this century as a whole. So we can say now is large, can take a large, broad meaning. So we can use the present continuous to explain or to give ideas about longer or to describe longer actions in progress. What do we concentrate on here is the duration of the action now. Okay, the action is not complete, as I have said before. The action is unfinished, and the action is mostly temporary. Okay, I hope you understand up to now. This is the end of our lesson today, my dear. With my all best wishes, sincere wishes of best understanding. Remember, study well and never say it is impossible. Nothing is impossible at all. Even the word itself, says, I am possible. See you next time to